Bonsoir, Laurent. How are you doing this evening?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Pretty good, and happy to be back on Pro League in general, and EU specifically. Now, Giants, every now and then you kind of struggle on LAN, sure, but here for the first time we saw a bit of struggle on line play. What happened early on in the game when you were on the attacking side with the lack of drones? It seems like it was kind of forgotten for a while.
So the thing is, like, we actually had drones. They were just like not active droning.
Mm-hmm.
We had pre-placed drone that we put during prep phase. So the issue wasn't really about having the information, because we had information on like every single one of them pretty much. The big issue was that. Wait, sorry.
It's okay. Oh, it's a cat! No, bring him back. Bring him back. What did you call her?
She's called Nyx.
Oh, so cute.
So yeah, our issue was most in our entry duels, rather than on actually having information on them, as well as our refrag rates on the defenders. That was like a big struggle, and when we actually played a lot closer to each other, our attacks went a lot smoother than the first 3 rounds.
Yeah, you saw it when the Ashe was kind of on her own in the early on in the round. When you get picked off, you kind of go down after it, and when you huddled everybody together and actually assaulted from one location, it worked out fine. On your defense, Alphama definitely was showing up on the Echo with everybody else fragging. How important of a role does Alphama play specifically on that Echo to kind of make the whole formula function for Giants?
Well, he, like in defense, he's literally giving half of the information for the roamers, as well as the less information when people are pushing. His role, like, he's a really, really, really good anchor player.
Mm-hmm.
He plays his drones pretty smart. So he's definitely a big help to close the rounds and to help our roamers be a force instead of just like kind of like lying around and waiting for people to push them.
Anything different that you notice when playing now against Sisu compared to the old lineup that we saw a couple of months back? Maybe from scrims or from this game specifically?
So we haven't scrimmed them much because obviously like our first game, so we avoided to scrim each other as much as possible. I think they did really, really well. I also think they prepared us quite a lot. That's how it seemed, at least.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they can, like the last step they need to improve on to be a really good team would be their execution, like the last minute or so of the round, because that's where they really, really struggle.
Fair enough. Maybe they'll be looking into that later on, as they really got you close to the end there. And fortunately for Giants, they're able to take it a 7-5 victory. Crapelle, at the end of the day, anything you would like to say to the Giants fans that supported you throughout this past turbulent year, I guess, for your roster?
Well, I want to thank everyone who supported us. As always, like, we couldn't really do it without you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. For the support, and see you on Friday.
Thank you so much. We'll see you on Friday, Crapelle. Bonne nuit.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Yeah, this time it's not with Fabian, so all of us are saved. Hello, Nicholas. How are you?
Hello, Milosh. Nice to see you. I'm sorry for disappointing the interview here, Twitch chat. I know I'm not Fabian, but I will do him justice one way or the other by being an idiot, so there's that.
I said, bring me Fabian. You're not Fabian. I know that. I've learned from Golden Boy's
How
mistake.
can you not know who I am?
I'm Pengu, damn it. You see
No.
my
I was
videos.
speaking of Fabian's behalf, you know, and Raleigh major flashbacks, yeah.
Yeah, that it happens every now and then, but it's okay.
Does.
Pengu, again, congratulations on your victory against Chaos as well. Northern opponents, I guess, the Swedes, against you guys, and for you as a Dane, it's definitely a different story.
Yeah.
But you guys have been through Raleigh, you've been through Montreal, you know, it's been a hard few weeks for you guys. You definitely made it deep into Raleigh, the grand final. You got close to the group stage though in Montreal. So I want to go back to that before we continue in our conversation. What happened there, and what have you learned from it to adapt into the online half here in the season?
We definitely had a fluke where at the Raleigh major, we just played extremely well, like peak performance D2. I think that was our best performance with Uno since picking him up. And we were so surprised. We had a terrible online season, coming to Raleigh, super strong. in the grand final, when the pressure is on, I would use the word choke. Empire played a phenomenal game. They were the better team by far, by miles. But we definitely did live up to our own expectations of standards of level of play. And then we thought, it's a one-time fluke. DreamHack Montreal, easy qualification. Yoink, got 2-1 in group stage. Yikes. After that, a lot of hardships, meetings, etc. were had, and we spoke a lot about our philosophy about the game, our role composition, and we've done slight changes, as you see. Like Uno is now on a more specific role. I'm not going to talk too much about that yet because it's just the first game. I'm on a more hard support now, so that we can establish the back line, and then Fabian's going to IGL more from the front while I take the back. So I think we're kind of going in reverse now, back to our older year 2 kind of playstyle where we seem to just thrive better.
And at this point, you kind of have to try something, right? Everybody's been able to adapt to you. There's something where, G2 is ahead of the curve for a few months, and then everybody catches up after a while. And Empire has definitely taken over in that step. Now, you guys, it's possible for you to make it to Japan, but it's going to be a big fight. You have to win all of your games, and you have to hope that you get the right scores to go forward to Tokonami. Is there really any opponent after these changes, even after one game and maybe your scrims in the off-season, are there any teams that really scare you to play against?
I get this is like a Twitch tag question I get a lot, and I respect the question, Milosh, and I usually don't respond to it, but I will because it's just you.
Hey man, so, I'm forcing you for it because some people force me to ask it, so go for it.
That's perfectly fine. You're the middleman, I'll be your delivery guy. So we don't fear any team. And I know for a fact that the reason why Empire is so goddamn good is because they don't fear any team. We have respect, right? We respect Empire more than any team out there because right now it's the Empire show. That is the new king in the town, and we're all just, paving the road nice and slow for them, or actually fast because they dominate and everything. So if there is a team to beat G2 consistently, online, on LAN, etc., it's going to be Empire. I do see potential in both the new SSG roster, TSM roster from North America, but that's obviously not domestically, that's more internationally. But within Europe, I still think there are 2 giants, there are 2 kings, and then there are 2 or 3 teams that are trying to become those very kings or those very giants. And then we have a bottom pack that just seems to have fallen quite far behind the show, and I'm not sure why, because they got the players, they got the staff, but maybe just the meta shift.
Yeah, it takes a bit of time to kind of adapt at some point, and well, maybe through the second half and more tournaments that we have, it'll be something. You guys are still not qualified for 6th Invitational, unfortunately, so we'll see how that shapes up until December, and even in the online qualifiers, should that come down to it. Though, Pengu, anything you'd like to say to all the fans out there watching your victory against Chaos?
First of all, you gotta buy the Sledge T2 skin from the new pilot program phase, of course. You gotta do it. There's no denying it. It's the best skin there is there. No bias, of course. And second of all, I want to thank all the people that have bought the skin already because it's about to be overwhelming. And of course, as always, the Pro League viewership, the fans, the spectators, the haters, all of them. We have created a nice community within Siege. We have really established ourselves within the esports scene overall and Siege as an individual game. And I just want to applaud everyone for doing a great job. I think the most recent thing that I can think of is that the KFC Gaming Twitter poll vote. Yeah. And I just want to point out that I think Rainbow Six Siege is undefeated on Twitter polls. We are just better. We come together when we need it, and we do great things. And I want people to keep doing that.
Pengu, one question from me, final one. Why do you not do all the interviews? And why does Fabian has to do some of them?
Well, I am doing all interviews because Fabian's banned, right? So I'm here now. I am your savior, your lord. You can bow down like you do to Fabian, and I will take it from here. And then when Fabian wants to be a nice guy, like Goga, for example, he's the nicest guy I think I can think of. My mom is a very kind woman too, but let's not talk about her right now. Once Fabian behaves better, and once he overlines or aligns with how things should be on this interview stage, you will see more of me.
Let's hope for the best then. Nicholas, thank you so much again, and thank you for gracing our screens. Hopefully Fabian is in a better place now. Good night.
Good night.
Good evening, Doki. My man, 7-1 victory against Vitality. How does that feel?
Hell yes. That feels so good. So good.
So we went into Consulate, and Kix and I were talking about this. Okay, this is a good map for both teams. Historically speaking, Vitality have been great on it, but Navi have also had their successes on it. We were hyped up. This, in a lot of people's eyes, can also be the match of the day, right? And then every single round, especially on your defense, you're always at least a step ahead of Vitality. How are you always planning everything ahead of them?
Well, the answer to that is a little announcement, actually. We have a new analyst. Some may know him as the French Jack. You're going to see it on Twitter later on. But he has been instrumental to beating Vitality. Everything they did has been pitch perfect. We knew it. We knew everything. And we restructured a whole consulate just this one time against Vitality to beat them. And we knew how to beat them, and we did it. So that's what happened.
It's a question of strategy, and you really did outplay it. When Bibu and Stigi and all the rest of the players just can't really find their footing in the game, you know you have it in the bag historically. If you look at Vitality, the pre-plays, C4s, the timings, all of that was still part of the analysis. How does it go? How does it move for Navi and their new analyst in kind of preparing the specific moments?
So pretty much we have a document that's filled up with like sheets and sheets of how they used to play it, how they've changed, how they've adapted, and how they adapt. So we can kind of see what's going to happen, what they're going to do. And we knew that they like to take admin a lot. And we knew that you can't really defend admin unless you just want to die. So we said, let's defend below admin, Visa, and blow them up. So that's what we did.
And then Citizen happens, and he gets a 3K on the Valk.
I mean, he's all right, I guess. You know, he has his moments. So.
There was one round, particularly when we were watching. You guys were still on the defense, and you guys were playing Garage. There were no bits of utility used on the wall to kind of stop it. No Mew jammers, no batteries, Clyde, etc. And the wall was directly opened by Vitality. From your perspective, playing through this and kind of watching how Vitality are maneuvering on the map, did you see them kind of relax after they had the wall opened, or what was the reaction from your end?
So, as you know, Consulate is a very destructible map. You can't bandit trick that wall. You can't K trick that wall.
Yep.
It will be destroyed. So they can open the wall if they want. That's the easy bit. The hard bit's coming in to Garage. So we said, listen, you can open the wall. Come in if you want. But we have 3 people staring right at that breach, so good luck. And then whilst people are at the breach trying to come in, we are annoying them in admin, trying to stop them there, and we know Vitality suck with time, and we wasted a lot of time, so...
It's a way to put it. Which actually leads me in the final question. When you guys were attacking into Garage, that final round, we were watching it like, what in tarnation is going on there? Because there were gunfights everywhere, you were low on HP, somehow dropped down the hatch and then went down into the basement. How did you spot that there was the opening, the site was open, let's go for the plant, let's fight the one maybe remaining player on it and try to capitalize on it?
So we get the call, 2 guys top floor, I kill one of them, there's 1 guy left. A third guy flanks up and kills Ben, Citizen. So we're like, okay, 2 guys top floor still, 1 guy bathroom, that means only 1 on site. Kendra just said, we're rushing site, and we trusted him, and we just rushed site. I got 1-for-1 trade, it was a pretty big kill on the Echo, They can't deny anything, and we just stormed the site, there's nothing they can do. So...
You read them like an open book, I have to say.
Pretty much.
It's rare and odd to see Vitality being picked apart in that way, but hey, Navi did it, so... Here you go. That explains why you guys have the in-game skin, right? So, anything you'd like to say to all your fans at the end of this victory, Doki?
Speaking of the in-game skin, we really appreciate all the support we've had so far, people tweeting at us, people showing us. It means so much to us and our organization, who have been amazing through boot camping last week, preparing us, getting us the best possible situations to play this match. So I really do appreciate that, and if you want to keep supporting us, then please do get the Doc skin. It looks pretty good as well, I guess. So, but yeah, thank you everybody, honestly, I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much. Well, Kix has found a bit of a, I say, combination between you and Dokebi, so that's something to explore later on in the evening in your games. Yeah, you look like her, so it makes... As you heard.
All right.
So,
all right.
Doki, thank you very much. Congratulations on your victory again against Vitality. We'll see you on Friday for your next game in the second half of the season. Good night.
Thanks, guys.
Well,